Good evening and welcome to the Deep Stream. Tonight is again a Scoria board meeting and QA, and I'm chatting around with my good friends from the Scoria developer network, call it like this. So let's switch directly over to this was the wrong one. This is the right button with Julian and Duncan. And yeah, today we're going to do another update. I'd like to start with saying and giving a shout out to two new contributors who have really done an amazing job in adding lots of issues, which is fine, for Scoria, and found a lot of bugs and thought about good enhancements for the project. So giving out a shout out to what were the balloon popper and what's his other name on GitHub? Uh, I think it's Mbolin. Yeah,
Yeah,
those two.
bowling, yeah.
Yeah, those two. Thanks for doing so much great work for the project. Yeah, how have you been since last board meeting?
Yeah, indeed. There was a bit of time before that. I think that was the last month, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, a lot of things have been moving forward on the Scoria project. And yeah, a lot of I mean a lot of work has been done. A lot of evolutions has been brought to the demo project, and many enhancements, bug fixes. We're advancing. We're not quite we're not quite finished to Scoria 4.0 as we wished, but on the other hand, I believe that these contributions recently from all of you guys, and Bolin to Atudal and Duncan, Dennis, and some others as well, have made the look and the feel of the project even better than how it was.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
we're approaching something really cute. No, it's not only nice, it's cuter, and I think it's really important to have it cuter because yeah, it's more appealing for other people. Maybe that's something I could have done before, but I'm definitely not an artist, and uh, and yeah, I'm only able to draw lines, and now we have a lot of different things now. I propose to make a small showcasing of the current state of the demo. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense, definitely. Also, I'd like to thank all the people that were in the help channels and bug channels asking for help for specific things how you do in Escoria and how you achieve certain things that they know from other games and want to make in their own games. So we really got track there. So it's awesome as well. Okay. One question to the chat: is the sound okay? I think the echo problems of last time should be gone, and should be the audio should be fine. And well, let's maybe continue with the issues and the current pull requests. Let's switch to this view. Oh, there's the yeah. Now the cameras are gone, but I've missed to update this as well. But anyway, let's see. I will work on that while we're checking out the current Escoria issues. Let's see.
And we have a few questions to look at also,
Yeah,
mostly from some issues, but I think that was too little balloon popper
yeah.
on the Escoria dev channel, who asked me. I think it was 165. Just checking this again to be sure. No, that was 179. So I'll have a look at this one also. Opening it right now.
179.
so I don't forget it.
Yeah, yeah,
I meant, I mean, we will be looking through all of it, all of the issues, but this one apparently has a lot of questions in it.
yeah.
So I guess we'll want to answer some questions in there.
yeah, it's what one? What was the number? One.
179.
One second. How to structure a complete game. Ah, yeah, this were yeah, especially some how to
That's a big one.
complete workflow. Yes. Okay. So no bad voices from the chat so far. I'd like to say out to the chat if you have any questions about the Scoria project or any other questions, just go ahead and ask them in the chat. I try to monitor the chat while we're talking here. So should we go through the current pull requests as well to start with?
Yeah, let's start with the pull request maybe.
Yeah.
We'll go through the issues just after.
And we can start maybe with the transition. This is also the last one in the list, so we could just go for up to 10
Yeah.
because Duncan, you had still had questions about this. Maybe
Yeah.
we can start with that.
So do you just want to dive into that then?
Yeah, you maybe could maybe can say what the current state of the pull request is and what your
Yeah.
open issues are there.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. So we're getting close to the end of having this feature implemented. So if you recall, the request was to have an instantaneous transition between two scenes, be it manual or automatic. You could pick not necessarily the stock transitions, so it would just ignore them all and just cut straight. It's a straight cut from scene one to scene two. And as a result of that, it kind of uncovered, during implementation, that we needed to rework a couple different things, not the least of which was the object manager, as well as how scenes, at what point they're, cut over itself. Previously, we were doing it kind of before we even started the setup event, because the time it would take the transition itself to, actually complete, everything could be done behind the scenes and, Bob's your uncle. But clearly that's not the case now. So now the transition itself takes place immediately after the setup event concludes and just before the ready event happens. And this actually all looking pretty good. I know, Dennis and Julian, thank you very much for testing it to date, but it's we kind of uncover a couple things as we go along, and the current issue, and I'm hoping it's our last one, but we shall see. It only affects manual transitions. So when you are not using an automatic transition, and when you are manually using the transitioning in and out, and so from the originating scene you transition out, and then you change scene, and then you come to the new scene and you transition in. Um, this is a bit of an issue because previously with the if it was an automatic transition, no problem, we know right when to do it. But because it's not an automatic transition, and you're changing scenes manually, and you don't necessarily have to use the automatic transition, then we get this thing where it cuts over, and then the setup event completes. But during that setup event, there's nothing blocking the scene. So you see this early incomplete scene. It depends on what's in the scene currently, and then when you call transition in, which could be anywhere inside the setup event. So when that finally happens, then the actual the proper cutover happens, and then you see the rest of the scene. So obviously that's a bit of an issue. It's best evidenced, I think, in room 14. I think it was the third button where it has the instantaneous transition, but it's done manually with transition transition out, change scene, transition in. One thing Jillian and I had discussed was to try to just transition in from the ready event, but that doesn't really work simply because, again, you still have the whole entirety of the setup event to worry about. And so we had a couple of other ideas to kind of hash out, but they weren't working out mainly because the two scenes are not part of the same. They don't necessarily have the same parent, so that kind of creates some kind of rules out some of the different possibilities we had. So I'm hoping that we can get over that. Whether we discuss that tonight or another time is fine. But is it clear the issue that I've described?
I've just updated my branch and I started the demo game, so maybe we can see it already. You said room 14?
Yeah, I think that's the right one. So I think it would be the third button from the left.
It fades out.
I
Oh, I
think
need to
so.
change it to instant, right?
Oh, yeah, you need to change it to instant. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this was okay, but if I change it to instant, yeah, it's on set to curtain, so let's set it to instant. And the third button you said.
Mm-hmm.
Third button from the right.
From the left. You got it. You got it. Well, that's okay. Yeah, so that's called right. That calls a manual.
That
No,
was not instant, right?
that was not instant. No.
Yeah.
What did you change the setting? Are you sure you changed the setting to?
This was instant. I changed it to instant. Yes.
Well,
Projects.
let's have a look. This third one, I'm checking out your branch as well. What branch is that again?
Issue 102.
102?
Yeah, issue dash 102. Yeah. I can't see your screen because I got it minimized.
Okay.
102, right.
What? Maybe I can share it via Discord, and the cameras will be messed up. But yeah. No, Duncan is my screen, and Julian is split. Anyway, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, no, I can see it through. Sorry, I hit watch stream apparently. There it is. There it is.
I was watching the stream again.
I think
So
the Discord version is more direct than the stream.
All right.
So when I use this thing here, it just fades out.
Yeah, no, it's. And I checked my branch, make sure I pulled it out. Can you just show me the settings screen again, real quick?
Yeah. I'll switch to default so it's bigger on the stream. So this goes.
102. I'm on the right one.
This is the settings screen here. It's set to
Um,
instant.
I think I've got the latest in there. Yeah.
I just
see what this is.
pulled.
Instant. Huh. Wait. Not.
Oops. 14.
So you let me know what you see.
Yeah, third button seems not to be the right one.
Huh.
That depends on the script. Let's have a look at the third script here. Opening that room.
Yeah, maybe it's the fourth one then. I don't.
Room 14. I'm just opening the scene currently, so I can have a look at what screen goes where.
Oh, even no, that's. Yeah, in fairness, mea culpa. I haven't looked at this in close to a week.
I'm having crashes. I strongly advise to rebase that branch on the.
Oh yeah.
On the develop branch right now, because yeah, my editor crashed. Yeah, that's strongly advised if you don't want to have a crash here. So I'm doing that, rebasing on develop.
Yeah, go for it.
Rebase here. And of course there's a conflict. That should not be a big one though.
Very good.
What's this? Oh yeah, okay.
What was it? Maybe it was curtain.
Great.
I'm gonna go on mute here for a second and check something out. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that change here too. Save. Continue rebase. Okay. All right, so I rebased that, and now I'm going to rerun the editor again. Don't
Can
know
you share?
why they're. Yeah,
Can you share your screen as well so I can
yeah, sure,
show that?
sure.
There you go.
That's that one.
Ooh, what an effect! No, that's not your screen. Oh, that's your screen. Yes.
Is
Oh,
that
you can.
right?
Oh, you can share multiple screens on Discord. This is interesting.
Yep.
So this is the screen.
Okay, so I just.
This might be my fault. I
Okay.
think mine should be room. I thought it was room 14. It's actually room 12.
Oh,
Ah, okay, okay.
all right.
Yeah, like going from room 11 to room 12. In fact, is the
Okay.
transition there.
Okay.
That's
No worries. Okay, so opening room 12 again, just to have it. Oops. Room 1, 2. Yeah, that's the developed one, right? Hopefully it should be the same one. Default black white shirts. Maybe that was not a good idea to base on develop though.
oh
Well,
boy.
at least I have the fix. That can show to all the viewers how cute the rooms look
Yeah,
like now.
yeah, they're awesome.
Okay, so blackout. What that? Do you remember the name of the button? Maybe transition, transition center, transition blackout. Did you call it blackout? Maybe. Oh right.
No, it should just be instant. So in fact, gosh, yeah, I was in the middle of doing stuff when I.
I'll just check on your branch. Maybe that depends on the
Yeah, no,
script.
I haven't really checked anything in. I think it was.
Room one,
Yeah,
two.
it shouldn't matter because we disable.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
right.
it's like instant, and then right, and then we change, we transition, and all that other stuff.
Do you see the room right?
No, Julie, I think you just
Yeah.
sharing the Godot window and not the complete
Ex
screen.
yeah, indeed. I'll change that. Stop streaming. Streaming again, and streaming the whole screen. Screens.
Oops.
That the screen 2, I suppose. Which one is it? Yeah, that's the one. Should be better. Okay.
There we go. Oh, that's all right.
Nope.
No,
Still
don't see
only
it.
the Discord window. The
Yeah.
Godot window.
You only have the Godot window. Wow.
Yes.
What's wrong? Screen 1 and 2. Yeah, that's this one. Correct. Okay.
Yeah. No. It's now we see a taskbar. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
All right. So, yeah. There we are. Just checking I set the right. Yeah, I mean instant default transition right now. So opening
Believe
that
so.
one and using that one from center. But these are not. That's the default one, I guess.
Right. So let's go to room 11 and then walk back into room 12.
And we have a crash here.
Oh, lovely.
Mm, Argument invalid transition with name empty doesn't exist. Empty. Where does it come from? Validate arguments. Oh, so that's the validation from the command here, which is in the Scoria script.
I think there's a transition to where it's just set to 0 to use the default transition, right?
Yeah. Since we want to use the default transition, the transition has no name in the command, so it fails the validation. That should not happen.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at that one afterwards. I think we can ignore that for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I advise you to rebase on the develop branch. Uh, maybe save or also save your Scoria scripts if you don't want them overwritten.
Mm-hmm.
Because I fear you will be losing them.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
But
So
this,
if we go to room 11 and then come back in room 12, I think, and then we can take a look at room 12.esc afterwards to kind of see what's going on. Same with room 11.
I'll have a look at this one afterwards. Maybe tomorrow. That's really strange because I didn't see what you had, the problem you had. So
Right. So let's now that we've got the screen shared, let's go into room 11
Mhm.
and then walk right into room 12.
Right.
Just to start out with.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, then
Is that okay? Yeah.
and just walk into room 12. Let's see if it does it. There.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
There you go. There you go. So you saw what happened, right?
Yeah, it showed half of the
So
stream.
yeah, and then
Oh,
Oh,
and we had the two automatic transitions here. Yeah, okay. That's because when we leave the previous room, we are set on automatic transition, but when we enter
actually
the new one,
I think it's close to that. It's actually we disable automatic transitions. We transition out manually, and then we change scene, and then we transition back in room 12. So we might want to take a look at room 11.esc and room 12.esc to verify that. Just 'cause I don't think it's automatic. I think it was automatic. I don't think we'd have the issue.
so room 11, that was the exit.
Yeah, sorry, not I guess it'll be the R11 exit.esc.
Definitely have it. I have it here. Okay.
Yeah, there
yeah.
it is.
No,
So it's
automatic.
playing the sound, right? It's transitioning fade black out, right?
Yeah.
Changing scene with false. So we are not we're disabling automatic transitions.
Exactly.
Not normal. It's weird that it did play the automatic transitions though. And not the
I
white
think
one.
it actually I think it plays the curtain itself.
Mm,
In room 12.
So are we talking about the transition out or the transition in? Sorry, I've lost track.
yeah, checking in the room 12.
Yeah, because room 12, we do see the curtain as it comes back in, right? There's transition
There's the
curtain in.
conversion curtain, yes.
So
Yeah.
we are entering this condition here instead in the setup event. Last scene was indeed room 11, and we're transitioning curtain in.
Exactly, and you see that it happens right in the middle of the setup event, and because it's not an automatic transition, then there's no way to manually manage that. So we need to think of a clever or hopefully a clean way to address this. I think it's only an issue. I think it's only an issue with manual transitions like this.
What would happen
Or
if
there,
we if we move the transition command to the ready event?
No, it'll still have the same issue,
Okay.
right?
and what happens if I just remove it? Is it important to have this transition curtain in?
Yeah, then it
I
wouldn't transition in
Mm,
because automatic transitions are disabled.
yeah, but we don't want to have it curtain, right?
well, we need to have something though, because if I think because in the days where we didn't have the instant transition, it would just say black, right? Wouldn't come back in. But now I think it'll probably be indicative of the same issue. Like it'll still show that blank screen, and all of a sudden it'll be filled again, right?
Mhm.
I believe. I might be wrong. I mean, it might be worth testing out, but I don't. I'm also sure.
Yeah, that should indeed. Yeah, I think the screen will remain black, so we're
Yeah.
not good. I want to see what happens if I put it in ready, though.
Sure. Yeah.
Just
Go for it. Absolutely.
just
By all
checking
means.
quickly. Room 11, and we're here, and we're having the curtain here, but we
That's better.
don't have any instant thing, right?
Yeah, but that's not the
Right.
problem, right? The problem
Was
was more that half of the room was already shown when the curtain in.
Checking again. So we were instant from room 12 to room 11.
that's
Fade
that's
out,
manual.
curtain in. Works okay.
Yeah.
Because previously you can see parts of the text already displayed and before the transition comes in.
Problem is, it's not straightforward. Maybe people could be lost with this solution, right? It's not written anywhere in the documentation that we should write this transition in the ready event.
Well, still, I remember trying the Ready event, and there was an issue with it.
Okay.
Probably. Could it be related to the fact that I'm not using the exact same room? I rebase on develop. Maybe you should try after rebasing on develop again.
Yeah.
I'm not so convinced too. That's weird.
Yeah, I might just do that. Just real quick. Is it? Do you have instant set currently in the project settings, or is it? Is there a non-instant default? Just out of curiosity.
I think
Sorry, repeat, please.
Can you check the project settings to see that if it's instant as the default transition or not with this? I just
I
want to
think
make sure.
it's not default. Definitely not. I had to set it
Okay, so
myself.
it is. That's. I just wanted to check that for my notes here.
Hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently it works good if you set it here. But yeah, I'm waiting for you to confirm maybe.
I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense to have the transition in the ready event because setup shouldn't, or it should be at the last point of setup. But then
It
we
it
should.
was it was it was right
It
before the
was
stop
before the stop.
here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm gonna run it really quick locally and see if it maybe is a rebase thing. Because yeah, I haven't rebased this obviously in some time. Let's see what it does for me here.
trying to see that again. Oh, and I wanted to test that again. If I run the scene, we should be good too. Oh, we're not.
Huh.
Damn.
No,
I have
maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I was just so deep into it that something else was different that I didn't notice. It
maybe
does look.
maybe not. I don't think you were mistaken. You would have seen that right. So I don't believe you're wrong. There must be
Mm.
something.
Well, I
Yeah. You
mean, if
see.
you
Uh,
can't recreate it, then I mean, maybe the rebasing did do something.
and why does this happen?
Yeah.
It means we're.
Apparently, there's still something that is run after the setup event.
Is it?
Apparently,
Is there
it looks like
anything
that.
that's? Hmm.
I mean, it makes sense to make it to do it in the ready event as the first thing. So if it works like this, we could just do it, document it. If you want to have manual transitions, then put them into the ready event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, but in this case, we will have to test that all the transitions, all the manual transitions are done that way in the demo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I'll
We'll
check
have to
that.
check that. Okay. Well, Duncan, I'll let you test again and confirm to me if that's actually okay to you.
Yeah. I just did it locally again without the rebase. With whatever code I've had for the past week or so. It looks to be okay-ish. So maybe I did make a mistake somewhere. I'm gonna rebase, like you said, pull that, make sure it's in sync, and then I'll retest it. But we still have that. You still have that issue though with room 12. You hit that button, it still crashes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I've made note of that. Oh, maybe we'll get lucky on this. I mean, at some point, it'd be nice to have. Again, I know we've had a lot of comments on the ESC compiler, the actual scripting language, whatever. But it would be pretty nice at some point if there are limitations in terms of okay, you should only use this command or event within this other event. And
mm,
for example, the case in point where you're saying here transition, if we see transition within the setup event, if we just say no, you can't do that,
mm,
and help reinforce the documentation. Again, that's not for 4.0. That's just like something way down the line to
yeah,
kind of remember.
Yeah.
But
For now, we will have to ask the users to be really respecting the rules and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Scoria will not be too friendly with them at the moment, I guess.
It's all right. If I made it through ETF, I think other people can make it through who are better at this than I.
but
Okay,
it was
so
a
that's
hard
cool.
battle, wasn't it?
But
It was fun.
there's still a bug that I just saw. We cannot run the rooms directly. There's a crash here, so I will have to look at that. It should be
What
working.
what was? Can you see, check out the output tab? So what the actual error is there?
The error, the game crashes,
Yeah.
and actually I'm directly. Yeah, no room was specified to the register object with na 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 na, but there's something with the object registering. So
Okay, well, we know that I've changed that. So again, I could have easily broken something in that.
yeah,
So
that's possible. I don't think it's a big deal to fix, but I will have to fix that. So no problem. I think I will wait for you to finish the transition pull request though first.
yep, sure. Well, I mean, that shouldn't take very long, so that's good news. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
problem. We're not in a hurry.
yeah, no, I definitely. But I personally, I want to move off of this is sooner rather than later, if at
It's
all
okay.
possible. Because I know we have a backlog of bugs I should be getting to. But this is great. So I mean, like we're in a good spot, I think, with this. Regression testing is obviously key for this, given that what we've done to the object manager and
Yeah.
transition are handled. I guess the only thing that's really left untested from my standpoint, because I've gone through the rooms roughly, and we keep doing more of that, which is good. But the save game and load game stuff, because that is affected by the object manager, Julian, if you could find some time to test that, obviously when I'm done making my changes to the PR, I think that's the last major thing that needs testing after the regression.
Sure. No problem.
Awesome, thank you. I,
Cool.
I think that's it for this PR. I'm good, guys. I didn't mean to take up so much time.
Oh,
Cool.
it's okay. That's an important one, so it's okay to give more time to it.
Yeah, we
Um,
all had our share with transition PRs so far, so
I
perfectly
I do
okay.
remember. I remember. Uh-huh. You tell me.
So the next thing is the gamepad support, um, uh, uh,
That
um, written by
I tested
with
that.
modern
That's
test. Yes,
the 518 PR 518. I tested it. No problem to me. Um, I can even show you if I get to find my gamepad right now
yeah, that would be
and show it.
cool. I don't have any gamepad to test it, so I drew on this one.
Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Gamepad is just right here. Coming back.
So if anyone has something nice or not so nice to say about Jillian, now's the time. Oh, too quick.
Yeah, that was fast. It was really quick. So that's the gamepad here. Classic Xbox 4 one, I guess. But I don't think it's connected though, so I'll have to check if it's connected to Bluetooth.
And I'll switch back to this so I can share your screen as well.
And I will have to check out the branch too. Is it
Yeah.
connecting? Is it here? Coupled.
Oh, Tudo has entered the chat. Hello, Tudo. With the name Nothing Trivial.
Oh,
Good
nothing trivial
morning.
is Toodle.
Hello.
Yeah, morning to you.
And Slack said Dialogic 1.4 is out. Nice. Yes, I
Yeah,
also
really cool.
checked
Sweet.
out Dialogic recently, and it's a pretty cool thing. Also thought about making a bridge for Discord for Scoria.
A lot of stuff would be really nice to work with this Scoria.
Yeah, yeah.
Still connecting my device in Bluetooth. Hopefully it will work. If it doesn't, you will have to trust me, guys.
Okay.
Sure so. I mean, all the changes were inside a new add-on,
Yep.
right?
So just to explain that stuff, the biggest problems that I had with that one was that changing the plugin that was currently used did crash the editor, so I had to fix that. This was fixed and pushed in develop. That was the problem we had just before in a previous PR. And after that, we are now able to switch the UI plugin that we're using in the Godot engine. And after this is done, you're able to just use either the keyboard plugin that lets you use QWERTY keys on your keyboard to select the right the according key. It's all good. Nothing to say about it. It's just the same as the 9-verb UI. Works fine with a mouse, but you can also then you can also play with the your hand on the mouse and the other hand on the keyboard. And yeah, it's pretty convenient. It works really nice with no problem. On the gamepad part, it's on the other UI plugin. That's the Simple Mice one. And in this case, yeah, there were just some not action. It's not actions. There's some specific code for the gamepad support in here that just translates the gamepad actions into mouse input events, so that you can control the mouse the cursor using the gamepad, and it did work well. I tested that on my laptop though. Um, my gamepad doesn't seem to like my my PC here, so I'm not able to connect it to it, unfortunately. So I cannot show it to you guys.
That's okay.
I must say that I'm using Windows right now, and I was testing on Linux, and it works flawlessly.
The
Now you
Windows
can,
Bluetooth driver is a bit of a cluster something.
yeah, I guess Windows doesn't like it.
We
Though,
just
although it's an Xbox One official one, it's Microsoft trying to run on Microsoft. Just saying.
well, we just all preparing a Scoria for the Steam Deck. So
Oh, we're so far from it. But yeah, anyway, for that PR here, no problem for me. I reviewed it and I think I approved it, so it's just waiting for one more approval. Ready to merge for me because it's anyway it's only located uh, in there's just the ESC item file that's changed a bit, but
in
it's
the
okay.
inputs manager head.
Yeah, he added the input manager in the unhandled input function, and
Oh,
apart
with the
from that, it's
primary.
all in the add-ons.
Yeah, yeah.
So nothing wrong
And
here.
and
Yeah, it's
and
just adding the joypad
I-
buttons.
and only in the simple mouse UI, right? You said something about the nine verbs UI, but there's only the simple mouse UI in the PR. Or is there another PR?
Am I wrong? Maybe that. Oh yeah, that was separated.
Ah, okay.
This one is only for the gamepad support. Yeah, because
Right.
I tested these at the same time.
Okay.
Well, at least one after the other. So I kind of mixed it up in my head. But though both are working flawlessly to me, so it was okay. As long
I'm
as your
wondering,
gamepad is recognized.
yeah, I'm wondering if it would be better to move these things into an unhandled input function in the UI, if that would work. Because this is UI specific, I think. I don't know if it works, but maybe you can try to just move this code into a new unhandled input function in the simple mouse game, GD.
Directly in the simple mouse, yeah. What in this function? If I try to analyze it, yeah, it's some kind of specific for joypad button management.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
that's yeah, that could probably work. Where would you like to add it though?
I would you move all this code into an unhandled input function in the UI itself.
Oh, directly in the UI. Would it work? That will need a test. I
Yeah, yeah,
cannot test it
obviously.
right here though, so I could test it and check if that works.
I mean,
And
you can also say that we have a mouse specific event handling in here, so this shouldn't be in there as well. If you would have only a UI that only works with the keyboard for whatever reason. Um,
yeah, that code is here because it's related to the input made on the item.
mm,
If we put it somewhere else, the item doesn't receive the event maybe, even though it's in the unhandled input function.
mm.
That's quite a bit different, but I assume
Oh,
that this function is called if the event has not been
yeah, yeah,
called
exactly.
by another
Yeah,
um, another object, but the event was actually made on the item.
And he only translates the joypad event to a mouse button event. I see this here right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing more. And if you don't have any joypad, but
Yeah.
any gamepad or anything, that will do nothing.
Yeah.
So it's
Exactly.
no big deal. I think it could be generalized here, so
Mm.
it's not disturbing to me.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll just give it. I just approve it as well,
Hmm.
so we can.
I would really like to have it tested right now on my computer, but yeah, it's failing for some reason. Well, it's not failing. Not the feature. The gamepad is failing. Don't know
So we
why.
actually can merge it right already.
Yep, we do.
Uh,
We can do.
remove this.
And
Delete this. Merging
you remove the complete description.
from the commit. Yes.
Mm,
Did you want to have it there?
Probably because there's a lot of information in here. I think it's no big deal to keep this information here. This commit starts by introducing a new action, SQI primary action that is used to represent. Yeah, it's kind of a documentation of the code here. I think
Mm,
it's quite useful to have it.
yeah. I mean, we still have the pull request there.
Yeah,
I don't know if
indeed.
I can undo my merge right now. Can I
Let me see. Yeah,
revert?
you can revert.
I can I can no, that's just
Uh,
um,
that will create a new
yeah.
pull request. Oh damn.
In that
So
case, yeah, wait. We can have a solution for that. I'll rewrite history
okay.
and just take the description. I think we should be
Revert
good. And
there.
There we
Let's
go. Develop. Pull.
remove the revert.
yeah, you can remove the revert.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay.
Uh,
So maybe continue
yep.
with managed mirrored speak animations. Uh, oh, these were the things we already talked about. Yes. Let me just quickly take a look.
Changelog. What was that date? Changelog here. Boom, boom, boom. Summary.
This
Right.
mirrored and sprite scalix.
Feature.
Okay.
And there we go. Okay, so I'm committing again. I hope I will not break everything. There we go. Remove objects. Okay. Okay, we should be good. I'm forcing push. I'm not so fond of what I did.
Hmm.
No, canceling. I think I'm breaking everything doing that. Okay.
Okay. Duncan, maybe you can check out this PR as well.
Yeah, I'm
This.
taking a look right now. At least for the code.
Oh, I can. In the meantime, I can check out this. Oh, this is already the draft because there's this issue open still with the overlapping events. overlapping. I see. Maybe we can talk about this later. But I still want to check out what Balloon Puppet did there. So let's check out his branch there. It's room 6.
Oh, there's a protected branch. Seems like I cannot push on undevelop.
Let me
I just
see.
updated the commit message, but I think I'm
Yeah.
not able to do that.
Let me see. Branches develop. Push to matching branches. Organization administrators will president and can use them with maintain role. Admins can always push. Allow force pushes. I think you're making a force push, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it should work now. Oh, no, it shouldn't. It will work in a second. Now it should work.
Okay, testing. Force push. Yep. There we go. Okay, develop is good now. And we have gamepad. Thanks a lot.
Kevin Fuba entered the chat. Hey, thanks for checking out. I think we could do with getting more Godot users on board. What do you mean, Slacks? For Scoria or for the stream or something? Oh, I can't start Godot. I can start the game in the branch.
Oh, did I break everything?
Yeah, no, that's Balloon Puffer's branch for the room 6, and there seems to be something wrong there.
Yeah, indeed. I have the same problem. I cannot run it. What's wrong?
Scoria main seems to be not connected. The Scoria main is nil for whatever reason.
Seems like it's a transition issue. What's wrong in there?
Oh, maybe.
Instant. Oh yeah. That
No.
was supposed to be curtain, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Let's if I revert it, yeah, works fine.
Okay.
Correct.
So
Okay.
let's check out room 6. Awesome. This is really cool.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah,
It's like
really cool. Careers officer. Great job.
It makes the whole demo look funnier.
Yeah.
It
I
gives
also love. What room was that? He added particles here for the water. And was it round 4?
Yep.
No, this is still the. Oops, this is still the old one. I think the bridges
waves took a
look.
while to get right. I'm sure. Yeah, that indeed looked quite complicated.
I like what he did with the bridges.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this one, for example. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. So cool.
Yep. Very cool.
Love it.
Okay, so Julian, looking at PR 522, how to do with managing the mirrored speak animations and ESC item. I think it looks pretty decent. The only questions I have, and I think I probably sound like a broken record because I think I probably asked this more than once. But
Sorry, which one is it? 522?
Yeah, 522.
Oh yeah. I just made the fix, the latest fix a few minutes before we went live.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm just I've got the latest, and I'm just at least looking at the PR itself. But in start talking and stop talking, I just want to make sure that movable will never be null and movable last dir will never be null. Are we okay with that?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we're fine with that.
Okay.
I didn't change a lot of stuff in here. I just added the mirrored part. Yeah, just checking if the animation should be mirrored and applying it in the case of talking, because it was not managed when talking. So yeah, that was creating some weird
Yeah. Okay.
movements. But
Just making sure because I know we do. There are a couple changes here with.
yeah, you meant maybe it's missing some null check, right? Let me see. Anyway, mirror will be false if it's not defined, but we could have maybe a null value if parent that animations.idles orientation doesn't exist.
Yeah,
But that
that's
should
true.
not happen.
Yeah, no, I think the only place I'm noticing it like our ESC item, you've added in and again, I know this is done elsewhere, I think, so we're just probably echoing it. But if line 490, like if animation dot speaks, and as the index is movable dot laster, I just want to make sure that movable and movable dot laster are valid and non null.
Yeah.
In that case,
Maybe I could indeed add some null checks here.
and something similar in the other file, which I think is ESC movable, because we use dir as an index, and I think it's okay. But I was tracing it back, and dir and laster both seem to, you know,
Yeah, it's quite difficult to test this right, because we are using
yeah.
the same character, walking character all the time, even though it has well, it doesn't have so many directions. It actually have only 6 directions:
Mm-hmm.
up and up, down, left, right, down, right, and down, left. So but not for talking. Talking is a bit different. We can only talk down, top, left, and right.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's not completely. Yeah, the character itself is not complete. So but basically, it's really important that the animation resource is correctly set up. This will I intend to make this easier using that testing scene, which I forget the name, but it's hidden somewhere in the add-on.
Yeah. The animation
The animation
setup
something, yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's one.
Well, then in the case of this particular PR, do you want me to just make a couple comments about it, or do you just want to go back in and add those null checks, or do you think they're not necessary?
I don't think well. I can have some tests. I don't want to. I'd like to be sure of that. You're right. I didn't think about the null checks, so I think it would be better
Yeah.
if I take some time to have a look at it and
Okay, I think
and
there's
verify
only
that.
there's less than there's less than a half dozen of them, if that. There's a lot less, so I don't think it shouldn't take you very long at all.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, I'll try to have a look at that one before I go to bed tonight.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so then we're yeah with the room 6 new graphics. That's still waiting
Yeah,
for
this
the
one was a draft. It still is, if I'm not wrong.
yeah because it's waiting for the fix of this.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah,
had
that's
this
the.
problem
Okay.
in yeah I also
I
had
discussed that with him, and the problem was that if the well, if the door and the escatum collision shapes are kind of how to say that they are overlapping.
Mhm.
That's the word. Then it creates a problem. So what he had to do was basically make the collision shapes not overlapping at all. That would require some more tests, because yeah, I never had that case and never thought of it. Uh, when I created all the testing rooms before, I always managed to have no overlappings because I don't like that. But
Yeah.
that's I'm not everyone's not like me, right? So
But
we will have some cases where this could happen.
I actually have this case in Safe House because I have this no newspaper, the suitcase
Yeah, I
scene.
wanted to have to see that if you can show.
This one. So there are different clothes stacked over another, and you have to work your way down from cloth to clothes. So you take this, and then you take uh, uh, this. Oh, I should disable the visible collision shapes here. Let me just. And I had to, oh, not this one. I had to make them interactive or disable interactivity and activity for all the things so it works better. So if you look at the code for that, suitcase, no, it's unpack. Yes. In the setup, I set everything to interactive to false and only set the topmost ESC item to true. So it
Mhm.
can be only operated this one. And once the shirts were picked up, I set the sweaters to true. So it just
Ah,
stacks this
yeah,
down. It's quite complicated, but it gave it more stability, at least.
correct. Yeah, it's not so complicated, but if you want to create a huge stack of items, yeah, that could be a problem, like you did.
Yeah.
But in the well, I mean, in the case of a stack of items, it's okay-ish. But in the case where we have an item overlapping with an exit, that's more disturbing to me.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I just said in this chat, I can't make them not overlap. It's an open door and a closed door. So that's the
yeah,
problem there.
that's it. Actually,
What I was
these are the same. You have to use the door to exit.
Yeah, what I was also said that also found in Safe House is that though I set all the items to interactive, I still here have have them in the tooltip. If you look at the bottom of the stream, you can see every object if I scroll over that. And I thought that if they're not interactive, that would make them available as a tooltip as well.
Yeah, that should be the case indeed.
Yeah,
Is it not?
apparently not.
Uh, I'd say bug then.
Yeah. So maybe this is connected to another because
Right.
you could disable the or make the open door not interactive or the closed door not interactive depending on which is what. So I think
Sure.
that would be
Yeah.
a solution then if that works,
Uh,
right,
I
Tulio?
remember it's possible to make some kind you can make such a behavior with set state maybe because it's using an animation and basically why we are using an animation in the set state. It's because the animation, everything is animatable in Godot. So you can do basically what you want with an animation player. So if you want to disable collision shape, you can. If you want to enable a navigation polygon, you can as well.
That's true. Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. That's the exact case, the exact reason why I usually say to people who discover Scoria that it's important to know a bit of Godot first,
Yeah.
because that kind of thing is really important to know that you can animate everything using that specific node, and Scoria makes total use of it.
Yeah.
S- and it's but in this case it's a bit different though. Um, yeah, what would be uh, he's asking something. That's a question that I have outstanding. What does set state do other than run an animation? Yeah,
Nothing really.
basically it's not only an animation. As I said, if you look into the animation player node, in the animation you can also enable nodes, disable other nodes. It's not only moving things around and rotate things. You can also act on the parameters of any other node in the scene. That's um, that's a common thing in the in Godot, and you can do that with an animation player. But it's not exactly an animation. It's not moving
Yeah,
moving cutscenes only.
yeah,
That's the reason.
exactly.
I hope I answered that question. It's really important to have that things clear. It's not only about cutscenes,
Yeah,
because you have the animation keyword for that. If you only want an animation, animation is good for that. That state plays an animation which can basically do a lot of stuff, not only cutscenes.
actually, set state also saves this animation. So if the item is displayed again, if you move out of the room and move back into the room, the item has the same state as before and plays the same animation. So this is important as well. So, for example, if you have if you have a fountain which is turned off, and you can have a puzzle to turn it on, then it will stay on afterwards. You don't have to do anything else. Yeah, that's the thing, because it's really a state of the object, and it's not just an animation. So there's different things there. Play animation just plays an animation, and state saves that it has played this animation, continues to play that. So that's the difference there. And Scoria supports both the animation player, the very mighty animation player of Godot, and the animated sprite as well. And you can decide whether you want to do the one, which is fairly limited animated sprite, or use animation player, which is like Julian said, very powerful and can do lots of stuff.
You can see that the items like state machines. The idea is that if you call set state on on the item to change to the state you want, then at the moment you switch to the target state, if there is an animation, this animation will be played with all that's included in this animation, not only moving sprites and rotating stuff. That could also be hiding other nodes. That could be disabling collisions, disabling anything, but that's done in the animation player, in the case of an animation player. That's why it's called set state and not just play animations. That's because it's related to the fact that the item has different states, and you are allowed to switch from state to state.
Yeah. So open
And
door,
a
closed
state
door.
can have an animation.
Query the
Uh,
state.
yeah, I agree with the question here. In another bug and feature request, it would be really helpful to be able to query
Yeah.
the item state. Correct, definitely, and that's something we will have to look into definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, moving on. Um, so this is that. Fix walk and walk block to match the underlying code. Did I already approve that? No, Duncan did. Why did I?
That's the fix walk and walk block, right?
Oh yeah, I think I said
Oh
that
yeah, that.
the default values should be false, and he did, so I just approved this.
Mm, seems like there. I didn't approve this right now,
Yeah. Do you want to check it out?
and we are. Yeah, I can do that very quickly.
It's a
Walk. Wait. Uh, does this add? Yeah, this adds a second argument, right? Like
third one
walk.
actually, and
Yeah,
actually
that.
it
Um, what's weird to me is that there is no comma between walk and fast in the very first line.
That's
Oh
just
no, that's
that's
just one.
yeah,
That's one.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
uh,
it
I
was
would
set to the speed originally. It was documented as the speed, but we found that the code behind this only sets true or false.
Yeah,
uh,
just walk faster and walk normal.
Yeah.
I think it's missing an underscore then.
Oh,
Walk
the
underscore fast.
walk on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Then you
That's
can.
yeah, that's really it may seem not so important, but yeah, I initially I thought that was
Yeah.
two arguments where it's only one.
Yeah, makes total sense. So maybe you can just request that change.
Apart from that, yeah, I definitely
Ah,
agree on the change. It's
he's
okay.
already updating the underscore. Great to have
Thanks.
people already in the chat.
Well, that could be an instant merge then.
Yeah.
When with a false as default, right? Walk fast through seems good. Yeah, because yeah, that's not a speed actually. Walking speed to use default. Yeah, it will be using how was that argument called? It's the faster speed
Yeah.
of
Fast
the
mode
walkable
something.
object.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's better to use that instead of setting another speed,
Yeah.
probably. I'm
I
staying on
totally
this
think.
one.
Yeah. Exactly. You can always also put the underscore here. And otherwise, I
Hmm.
think this is fine as well.
And by the way, also have conflicts on two files here, wolf.gd. Well, both of them actually.
Yeah. But I'll
I'll just
approve
be
this as
waiting.
well.
Yeah, approving until then. No, I'll just wait for the change.
Yeah, and then you can just hit the merge button as well.
Yep. Uh,
Ah, yeah. This is pending as well. I found this. In the stream as well.
oh yeah, that one was really simple, right?
Yeah, very.
Mm-hmm. I think I approved it already.
Not yet.
What? I didn't.
Yeah,
Come on.
only about Duncan.
So which one is it? Reduced log warning. Maybe that was another one. Okay. I think it was another one. Right. If is it a hint and yeah, seems good to me. Multiple no. Yeah, yeah, good. No problem for that.
Ah, yeah, and then the thing about the audio bus layout. The
Ah,
thing maybe I can show that so it's more clear because I think it wasn't clear at all.
merging the log issue 541.
Mhm.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
So there you go.
So yeah, that reset audio bus. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I was always wondering why I get a change in the default bus layout to the TRS in anything I did. The thing is that if you have we set the audio bus layout as the default one in the project settings. We do this
Yep.
in this, I think it is Scoria GD or something. This setting here, this will be set by code. And if this is set and you change something in the audio sliders here, so if I set this to there, then it also changes the resources itself. So if I can see it, now I have another change here.
Yeah, but I never changed that. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe
maybe.
I
But
did.
if you do in the options, right?
No, this doesn't. I checked this, but it doesn't change it. It's really this change in the editor, and I think maybe I did change this at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I reset everything to 0
Mm-hmm.
and push that, so we have a common ground to start from. Um, the idea that Balloon Popper had there was to set this file into the git ignore as well, which wouldn't remove it from the history, but wouldn't record any new changes to it.
Well, I didn't want to do that because in the case where in the future we want to add another channel for some reason, then we will have a problem. I
Yeah,
think.
well, you have to think about this because you can always ignore the git ignore file and push the change without considering it. So it would
Mhm.
be possible, but you would be safe for when people just play around with the audio settings there. Other way would be to just so that that we check out new pull requests and see changes into the audio bus layout, and then we tell the author to remove this change. This
I
would be
guess
the other thing.
so. Well, at the moment, anyway, for that demo, I think it's okay. Just checking. Normally, users should use what we provide to them. They are not supposed to add. Anyway, it's not managed, so we will have to take it to take care of it ourselves.
Yeah,
The game developers will not do that change for their games. If they want to do that for their games, well, that's their job. But if we want to add as Scoria developers, if we want to add another sound channel for some reason, and then we will have to manage it anyway and push the default bus layout TRS file.
yeah. But
So
wait,
yeah, in that case, it's okay, I guess.
I
Hmm.
mean, we could just not ignore it and then just look at the new pull request. If there's a change there, then the developer did something wrong, and or maybe did something wrong or it was intended. We then should add documentation about this. If the game developers want to change the default audio settings or change the buses for whatever reason, then we have to
Hmm.
have to tell them how to do that. Although it's currently not possible to do that because we are setting the default audio settings directly.
Yeah, we're actually Scoria is taking care of it for them, so they don't.
They don't need to
Uh,
change that at least.
hmm We already provide them one master channel and two sub channels after that.
Do
One
we
for the, oh, maybe three. One
three?
for
Yeah,
dialogues,
for
another for
speech.
music, another
Yeah,
for the SFXs. So I think it's enough at the moment. If we ever need to manage dynamically adding new bus channels, then it will have to be another feature, a bigger feature to manage that.
yeah.
I guess for the moment, let's keep those three channels, and we say, yes, Korea manage these channels, no more, no less, and we're fine.
Yeah.
Because we do manage most cases, I guess.
So we just keep this file out of git ignore then?
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as this file is good, I think it's okay to reset it to 0 indeed.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm fine to add it to git ignore as well. Hmm. If that needs a revert, we will do that in the future if that's needed. But yeah, I don't expect it to change anytime soon.
So what was your decision to keep to put it into the git ignore or not?
Yep,
Add it.
add it into the git ignore.
Okay. So then I'll change that in the pull request as well. Awesome.
Hmm. Cool.
Last one would be uh, make sure Scoria apply settings is only called in game and not in editor. This was the one I found in the stream
Mm.
because we had this apply settings and it would also run if we're currently in the editor and it would produce I think it was producing warnings or something.
What's the difference? Uh, I don't really see the difference between the two
The
versions.
first line.
Only, oh yeah, that's just the if. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Um. Oh yeah, okay. If we're not in the editor.
Yeah.
About that, just a syntax question. You're using the exclamation mark to negative
Yeah, it's
instead of
better
not.
with not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I should
Mm-hmm.
move that to not. Yes, I do that.
Right.
Um, a question in the chat is, can you please quickly cover the different channels and how to start, stop sound refers to them? The documentation doesn't cover if I can run two music sounds at the same time, for example. I think you don't. You can't. Well, we have sound players. This is actually ESC. What's it called?
ESC music.
Yeah, something
Can't remember.
ESC.
We have so many objects right now.
Types? No.
Where was it? You can also use
True.
Control Alt O or Control Shift O, so you
Music.
can find
Yeah,
the. That's
ESC
the scene.
music
So,
player and ESC sound player. I think these are the two things. And
yep.
you'll control it by, these are also ESC items actually. They register as ESC items, and you can use set state, another one, to not play animations with them, but to play a music or play a sound effect. The difference is that ESC music always plays a sound as loop, and ESC sound player also always plays a sound one time. And they register with a global ID, with a fixed global ID underscore music and underscore sound. And the voice, the speech channel is handled by the dialog plugin, as far
You
as I
can see
remember.
that in the in some ESC scripts as well. We have a room to test that. I think it's the 13 maybe.
Yeah.
There are buttons to control the music.
Yes. Yeah. You can check that also.
And
Yeah.
so to answer that question, you can currently not run two musics at the same time. I don't think you're supposed to be able to run two sounds at the same time either. If you
That's
want to do that,
actually,
that would require a second SFX channel.
yeah, that actually is a feature of Godot 4, as I think. I think they enabled multi-channel music or multi-channel audio players in Godot 4, if I've read that right, but I'm not
I
sure.
don't remember. No, I haven't seen that.
It's a bit
Currently,
complicated.
it's not managed at the moment, so I'd say for the moment, no,
Yeah.
and we will manage that later.
There's also something we need to implement later, which I already implemented in Ego Venture, fading between musics. Um, if you want to fade from music A to music B, you actually need
Mm,
two audio players and manage the volumes, which is a bit tricky.
yeah.
Yeah, doesn't Godot have I can't remember if they have a crossfade node or if it's
No,
just built into the yeah.
that's
As
the
That'd
far
be
as I
awesome.
problem.
remember, that was that was a started work at the time from the Google student project, Google Summer of Code. They had a student who started working on the fade effects like these, and I don't know if that's finished business. Yeah, they were supposed to continue it. I don't think they found some people to continue that, but it was ongoing. I cannot tell much more about that because I have no idea.
Yeah,
Although reading the chat, that's a problem. I would want footsteps and birds in the background and other sound effect at the same time. Yep,
true.
I understand.
Well, maybe we can add at least add an ambient sound player as well, which will just run background music or background sound effects like birds, and you can use. I mean, we already have an issue for adding sound effects or walking sound effects
Yeah, but
because
that's
this.
this will be an infinite problem.
Yeah,
If you add one more, you will have
but
somebody who will need
super
one
slow.
again one more.
Mm,
Um, I think there must be a limit in the channels. Let's say, I don't know, four or maybe eight. I don't know. We could manage all of them, adding a number after the like say underscore music one, underscore music
Mm,
two, etc. Underscore sound one, sound two, etc. That could be possible rather easily.
mhm.
Yeah,
Uh,
would we not just like max out the channels and let the game devs just decide which ones they want to or not want to use? Just lay it all out there so they can use as much or as little as they want.
Makes sense.
yeah, yeah. As said in the chat, nothing trivial. Is the solution documenting out how to add a channel yourself and let the developer handle it? That could be a solution as well, because it's actually not so difficult to do. Um, the only thing is that you will have to set a name for each of them, a different name, basically.
Yeah, we have reserved like object names for this stuff
Hmm.
already, so it would require a little bit of surgery. But I don't see why we couldn't, facilitate that, make that a little bit easier, and then add that as a feature.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we could manage it ourselves pretty easily, so that no one needs to do it themselves. The question is, how many do you need? Do you need one, two, three, 11 thousands, or what?
Maybe
Where do we put the limit?
maybe we could just use a dictionary for that, so that we don't have music one, two, three, but we enable the developer to say background music, foreground music, radio playing, or something like that, and just control it. And I'd say that we have different music players and we have different sound players, and all those use the same channel, so we don't have to um, uh, add new channels for volume control and all this stuff. So we can just say that there's a music player and there's a sound player, but the developer can add new players um, as much as they want.
Yeah, but we have to be careful about the not the project settings, the settings that we save with the volumes of each channels. Currently in the demo, I mean, I made it so that you manage the volume of each channel, and if you have 12 channels, say, that's a lot, and you don't want to have your player manage the volume of all of these channels. I don't know this is managed.
No, I don't think
That's
we
really.
need. I don't think we need different channels. I don't. I just think we need different audio players.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
all sound effect audio
mm,
players go to one channel.
oh, okay, right. And the mixing can be done by Godot. I guess it's able to do.
Yeah, I think the audio server is able to cope with that. I think.
Yeah.
I must admit, I never tried that. I never tried to use many sound at the same time.
Well, we should
Yeah.
add changing the volume of each audio player that we provide,
Mm-hmm.
because you can have the channel volume and you can have the volume of each audio player, so that you can mix yourself, because you want the ambient sound to be lower than the footsteps, for example. So, but this sounds trivial actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just
that would also require some more testing, though.
yeah,
The question is, do we want to have this for 4.0 or later?
I'd say future, because we have so much on the
Yeah.
plate already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could do that. Well, anyway, if anyone wants to needs that, a contributor wants to have that very quickly, I think it's not so complicated, and
Yeah,
everyone's free to propose a solution for that, and we will look into it anyway, even if it's for future.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm okay to add it in 4.0 if it's already done by anyone. Uh, but we
Is,
should focus on the other issues, because yeah, there are a lot of them now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think as long as we can agree to a spec for what we want, and not just like, hey, here's a PR with that kind of like. I think we need to. It's a
Mm,
fairly Well, it is trivial. I agree. It is still very important and very central to how the game dev is gonna make use of it and how we make use of it as well. So
Mhm.
as long as we have like an agree on a spec, but we like you said, we can hammer that out as we go.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, or even
Definitely.
in pure
That
art.
should be in a future request with all the details of the implementation that we want, and just say, hey, it's this is what we want to achieve. Anyone who want to take it can take it. It should be rather easy to do,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
you're free to start as you wish.
Toodle, can I ask you to kindly add an issue for that then, so that we just have it recorded, supporting multiple music and sound players. Drop down list of audio streams. Thank you. Drop down list of audio streams, Lex.
Drop down list. You mean by managing them in Scoria? Uh, I think the solution we just thought of is a bit more flexible than a drop down.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not so fond of the drop down solution. Sorry.
I was looking at how Dialogic handled it. Ah, okay. Yeah,
hmm
Dialogic has quite a different approach.
hmm
Maybe, well, it would be possible to use them in the project settings, right? If you have an audio setting here and you use an array of
Oh yeah.
music players, array of sound players, that would be maybe
Yep.
possible. And this would be make it easier for the game devs to work with that.
Yeah, definitely. But
All
until
right.
then, I think the solution, yeah, is to just create a dictionary and have everything done in what we already have, and just duplicate the audio stream player nodes,
Yeah,
and we're done.
Well, when we have our feature complete, Scoria IDE built, then we can roll that right in.
definitely. Yeah. I mean, Godot has wonderful UI features, so it's not that impossible.
No.
We can do a lot of stuff in the editor.
Yeah,
It's not so complicated. You can
yeah,
modify the complete editor if you're good enough.
yeah. Okay, then we have this big issue 179, documentation required how to structure a complete game.
Yeah,
Um,
that one is a handful of questions.
yeah, I think
Um,
this describes a workflow, actually. Um, I'll just read it out, I think. The subject of the
yes.
question to clarify when to use show menu and hide menu. It grew into how those commands fit into a whole game structure, as there are bits of documentation around writing a full game that aren't written yet. I'm not sure how much of the below the user has to create themselves and not how much Scoria is expected to manage. I'm ready to write some documentation if someone can tell me write files to edit for the getting started section of the documentation. If you can help me understand how everything fits together. This doesn't have to be answered now. If someone can clarify below, then when they have the time, I'll edit this and add it to the getting started guide. Also, where some functionality to create my pretend game doesn't exist yet, please indicate that and I'll open a feature request. Yeah, let's pretend I'm going to remake Police Quest. That's something. I'm going to list everything I could think of below that I need to make with questions about how to achieve this in the Scoria. Yeah. Gameplay description. The game starts with a page with my company logo, followed by a cutscene animation, then the main menu. I might have another custom menus I want to show from the main menu. I get game credits. After the main menu, the game will have some rooms. After you finish the last room, there will be a you won cutscene. You can die in many rooms. It's a Sierra game. Let's assume the escape key should be the pause menu button. This is what I think I need to create my game. Add the Scoria models to my project. Yeah, autoload Scoria TSCN. Uh, this should be already done by Scoria once you enable the plugin. Um,
And assuming you don't change it manually.
yeah, you can already start from the game template there, so you don't need to add the Scoria modules. You can use the game template and everything will be set up for you already. I create my main GD and have it display my company logo. Displaying the logo is up to the user in GD script, animation player, etc.
So this will be this needs to be called in the start.esc
Yes.
a Scoria script file. You can show in the in Godot. That's the starting script. You will have to show the starting scene.
Exactly. I'll just open this here so it's more visual. It's in game. Start game
Yeah.
ESC. There you go. This is already also handled in the getting started guide. That this is a key thing here. And you to skip ahead, you also need this new game event. So if it's in Start ESC, does it display before the main menu? Yes, it does. Because in this init event, you actually do the things that will be shown before the menu, and then you call show menu main, and then the main menu will be shown. This is how it works. And the event new game is also called by the main menu, as, at least in the if you use the stock main menu that comes. It will look for a new game event in the Start ESC. And
Something we could do with that to demonstrate it would be to just create a simple uh, splash and animation scene that's displayed right before the main menu,
yeah,
so that we can show how to do that in the script.
yeah,
No problem with
exactly.
that. I think we could add this. That would be, yeah, uh, I don't know, showing the logo and uh, kind of transitioning to a
Yeah,
blackout, I guess,
some stuff here.
and then showing the main menu.
Yeah, I can do that. Go ahead. Don't let anybody stop me. Okay, so call is Scoria init to start Scoria. This is all handled in the start game ESC, so you just have to change the start game ESC. And you can, we call it start game, but you can set this here. So this is the start script that will be played when the game starts. I think this is actually different in the game template, but
Is
that's
it?
I'm not sure. Fifth, now that Scoria has started, can I get it to load straight into a cutscene rather than the menu? So we already covered that. Uh, no, rather than the menu.
Wait, no, that is correct. Can I get to load straight into a cutscene rather than the menu? If so, how?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we
Same.
covered just yeah this.
That's the same. Yeah, you can either show a room that displays a splash screen, or also a normal room
Yeah.
that starts cutscene. Your
How
call.
do I tell Scoria where to find my menu? This is actually part of the UI. So if you check out the simple mouse UI, for example, the game TSCN, there's the menu there. This is just the instance of, we have included a small UI library with stock things that will be included in all the dialogues we provide. And this is just the main menu, sort of was here, just instanced into the UI. So, so the node needs to be called menu. Um, no, it
Yeah, these
doesn't.
are actually links. They are links to example scenes that are provided with this Scoria
Yeah.
in the add-ons slash Scoria slash I don't remember.
Scoria Core
Uh,
UI library menus main menu.
yeah,
But the
UI
node
library.
doesn't have to be main menu because the code that handles this is inside the game GD. So there's a show main menu function, and it will show the node, make it visible or not. So it doesn't need to be called main menu. This all these things depend on your UI, and we provide the simple mouse UI and the 9verbs UI, but these are just stock icons, stock UIs to get you started, and you're actually supposed to create your own UI because I don't think they're suitable for all games. They just give a starting point. Okay, Uh, yeah, it doesn't need to be the UI library. You can do your own main menu, of course. That's Godot specific, so you need to do Godot for that. If Scoria supports me making my own totally custom main menu, I assume I copy the contents of main menu GD and TSCN especially um, into my own custom menu GD script. Exactly. Yeah, you create a new. Uh, you should. It's recommended to create a new add-on for the UI and then extend ESC game for your UI, and you can also copy over the main menu into your own UI and manipulate it the way you want. Exactly.
Again, it's recommended, but you don't have to. I mean, it will be working fine if you put your UI in your game folder, for example. As long as you set the correct path in the project settings, Godot will be able to find them and call the right functions where it has to. What the add-ons are doing are just setting these paths in the project settings for you. That's all they do, and also embed these scenes into it. But that's all.
Yeah.
You could also put the whole content of the UI add-on that we have here. We have multiple UI example add-ons. You could just take all of their contents, put them into your res colon / game / UI folder, for example. So
Yeah.
in a game, in the game folder, not in the add-ons folder, set your paths yourself manually, and it would work the same.
Yeah. It would just be cool if it's an add-on that you release in open source as well, so other developers can use it. Just say.
It's really convenient because that's also separating stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe it's easier. You can have let's imagine you are a team and you are maybe 12, 15 people. Some people are working on the UI, some people are working on the game the game design and the rooms, the items and so on. UIs and games and the central part of the game are very different usually. So you can have your UI developers totally separated from the internal game developers, and
Yeah.
that's really convenient for bigger teams.
Yeah. Exactly. I Ninth. I did. I don't know how to define which room a Scoria new game will load as my room one to start the game. Yeah, that's also we covered that. It's also part of the start game ESC, where you have this new game and then you actually do the stuff that happens in the new game. You could also run cutscenes there and then go to the first scene.
And when you
Uh,
call the change scene, you call change scene command to load a specific room, and this scene will load and be executed just like you change to any other room. For example, the first event that will be called is the setup event, and after that, the transition, if it's automatic, the transition will happen, and the ready event will be called. And in the ready event, you can define all the steps of your cutscene.
yeah. I now create a custom UI following the documentation. In my custom UI, do I connect the escape button to the show menu escape command? I can see any reason to ever call show menu in your game unless you connect it to your UI. Is there a reason you'd ever want to call this from your game? Uh,
You show the pause menu, but normally you wouldn't want to show your main menu.
well,
Indeed.
usually, or after the you have died screen or you have won screen, then it should be it would be a good idea to just show the menu after that.
Hmm. Yep.
Shouldn't it be shouldn't what shouldn't it be in a GD script file as part of your UI? You push escape, click the pause UI button, and the pause menu appears. It should be in game GD of your UI. I'd say yes. If this is correct, that I connect my escape keyboard button to show menu, the user interface documentation doesn't tell me how to do this. What's the command to call show menu from GDScript instead of ESKeyScript? This is Godot specific, but you basically just in your game GD, you can you have this input function underscore input, and you could handle key presses to the escape button there, and then just call the function. You can just show something like event is input event key and event. I'm making stuff up here. I think it's key or something. Doesn't work. So if this is the C key, you just use show menu. This is basically the code. Show main menu is the right one.
That could also be using the input map that
Yeah,
you have in the project settings. That's the
yeah.
same. That's the input action. I think that's the name
That
of this
makes
feature in
much
Godot.
more sense. Yes.
And we have
UI
some about that.
console.
We have something for that. Maybe we even defined one at some point, but maybe it was removed. So you can also use that instead of waiting for a specific key code. You can also use an action that's defined in the project settings input map.
Yeah,
It
makes
works
much
the
more
same,
sense.
and it's all done in the input function here.
Showing the pulse menu is a UI thing when you would ever want to show the pulse menu from ESC. Yeah, mostly not, but why not? We just implemented that. In my pause menu, I need to link back to the game button to the hide menu SC command. As above, I can see when you could ever call hide menu from GDScript. Same thing, just call the function. I'd advise you to check out the Godot basic tutorial for how signals are done in Godot and how you can react to them in GDScript, and then you just call the function there. This is basic Godot. This is not Scoria specific. If the show and hide menu commands had automatic transition disabled, I need to put transition commands in setup and exit scene to put a nice fade transition in. I assume these have to go in room 1 setup and exit scene events. If not, how do you get the correct manual transition effect from the main menu to room 1 when you start a game? If you...
That's in the start script again.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
demonstrated that at some point. Maybe it was removed, or maybe it's at the bottom of the file, possibly. Don't know if it was removed in the past. I can't tell, but you can just change the room, disabling the automatic transition, and use the manual transition instead here. I think that works.
yeah,
So you
and if
just
you...
add false to the change scene command here, and after that you just add a manual transition. So transition out curtain black, for example, and in the room the room script, then you will have to transition in.
Yeah. Either in setup already, we're not sure yet.
I don't remember. Is that transition out curtain or transition curtain out? Don't remember.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up as well.
Mm-hmm.
If the player now saves in room 2, but I put the transition commands for the main menu pause menu in room 1 setup and exit scene, will these run if I quit the game, reopen the game, load room 2? Without running room 1. Every scene, every room has its own setup and ready. You'd have to transition from every room to every room. So if you want to make everything manual, you have to put all the transition code in every setup event of every room. So it's generally not recommended to disable automatic transitions and always do automatic transitions because it would be really hard to do that. And then you can be sure that room 2 will transition in, because that's what the save game system does, or load game actually.
Ignore further questions about the transition. Says Total.
The player dies for lots of reasons. It's a remake of a Sierra game after all. How do I display a custom menu that says you died, reload, or quit? All, that's a good question.
Which one is it? I missed the number.
The 14th.
14th. Okay. The player dies for lots of reasons. How do I display a custom menu that says you died, reload, or quit?
We don't have.
You could use the same way as we did in the puzzle in the room 10 to show that will be showing a scene. Actually, I think it's a scene, right? I don't remember
Yeah, it's
the code that's been used. It's a scene.
Yeah.
So you could show a scene for that. It will be showed above the current scene anyway, so it will hide everything that's behind, depending on the size of your scene actually. And you can show this message here. You died, sorry, so reload or quit. And you just have to code the actions behind your buttons here. If you want to load, then well, that could load, and that depends on the scene that you will write in this case. But you could take example on the puzzle scene in the room 10.
Another way would be to implement a custom ESC command. You can do this as a developer. You can enlarge the library of ESC commands and create an ESC command to, for example, show death menu or something, and make your UI react to that and show the menu, for example.
Yes, that's also a possibility. Maybe it's even cleaner to me.
Yeah, you stay in Scoria, then this would be the thing to do.
Yep.
I want to do a different transition from room 5 to room 6 that's different to the normal transition. I'd like to confirm that the process is I add the transition command to the exit scene in room 5 and the start room in room 6, or ready and then set up actually. After the transition command in exit scene in the room 5 script, I run change scene with automatic transitions disabled. Yes, exactly.
Correct.
On the last screen, I play a cutscene, then quit back to the main menu. How do I quit back to the main menu, please? Room 17 of the demo has nothing connected to the right-hand door, and I can. Okay, so you actually run the ESC command for that. We have
show menu main.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
just
show
underscore menu main.
Yeah. I'm sure this is a feature request. If I wanted player profile so that I could play the game then my friend could play the game, each with their own saved games. But has this functionally been thought about? This is a good question. We didn't actually, but I think it's a good idea, at least for future, especially if one thinks about moving to platforms like consoles, where you have different users of a console and each user has its different save games. So it's actually a tenant functionality for Scoria.
Let me read that again. If I want to play a profile, so I could play with the game. I'm not sure I understand correctly. What's the case is?
So I think
What do you call a player profile here?
If you start the game, you can choose between different player profiles. You can choose your own, or your friend can add one. And when you select this, you have the game and save games for your profile. If your friend starts the game with his profile or her profile, then it gets the save games of that person.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a common one in consoles.
Oh, yeah, I'm not really used to consoles. That's the reason why. Okay, but that could be used, yeah, for families as well. In the past, that was one save. You have 3 slots, one save game for each member of the family, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
time flies.
yeah. Please open a feature request for that. It's
Uh-huh.
definitely a future thing, but it's interesting
Yeah.
nonetheless.
We never thought about that, indeed. Mm-mm.
If I use a variable to keep a score for the player, how do I reference the global from my UI? Well, you have the globals manager for that.
Mhm.
Scoria.globalmanager.getGlobal, I guess. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's the
that sounds about
function
right.
name.
Let's look at the Scoria. Scoria.
Above, you missed it. Esc Global Manager.
Yeah, I was looking at the globals manager here. You have the Scoria.globals manager, and then you go to the
Oh,
global manager. It was
that one.
working the whole
Mm-hmm.
way. Globals manager, and then you have the get global, so you can just
Oh,
check out.
there's no link to the Esc Global Manager from this this page. Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Thanks. There's missing documentation to tell users how to reference the globals manager etc from use. This is actually the API. Um, maybe we can make this more clearer, but I think we already have a documentation issue for that. How to use the API, something like that. Yeah. Yes. Maybe we should just write a short preface about how to use the API. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do I add translations for the menus? That's basically Godot translation. I advise you to check out the internationalization functions of Godot. Just
Uh, I'm not sure the translation manager is used in this case. The transitions are managed by yourself because you're the one who develops the UIs.
no, not the
So
So
transitions,
it's
the
translations.
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 You're hearing transitions everywhere.
translations. Oh, come on. Oh man. Uh, ooh.
So check out this URL.
I was so scared.
For translation files, if I have, say, player worker hello hello, which text is the translation file looking for? Worker hello or hello? No, it's worker hello actually. Um, I've seen another issue about translations and voice files, and the tag before the colon is the translation tag, and is used for the voice file as well. So worker hello is the key that is searched in the translation CSV file and not hello. And if you have
Yeah.
voice support, it also searches for workerhello.org or something.
There are examples for that in the first room, so room 01.
Yeah.
This is the only room that has voiced lines from our friend Dennis here, and also translations as well.
Yeah, exactly. Do audio files support translations? Can I have an audio file that says hello and another sentence says bonjour? If so, what's the ESC command plus it? This is also something that's in Godot as well. You can have localized resources. For example, we already have this one here because there's the English version of this button description, and then there is the German version of it. So you can just translate the resources, and you only have to reference the original translation resource, and Godot already automatically translates it into this resource, which is an awesome feature. I think this is pretty intuitive. And we're done. This was the complete. Thanks for answering all those questions. I'll go back through the video over the next few days and add to the documentation. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for asking this. I think
Thanks a
if
lot.
you develop a framework like this, you just have a tunnel. television. Cool.
Uh, Thanks for creating to the feature request for multiple audio streams. I added it to to future. But Phil, if anyone wants to work on this uh, and submit it for 4.0, I'm fine. Oh yeah, support from randomness. I
Ah,
remember
yeah.
there was a discussion about that months ago. That could also be an ESC command.
Yeah.
To finish, because well, we have a lot of issues still, but most of them are bugs. So actually, to make a small status of what we still have left for 4.0, mostly we should include all the bugs for 4.0. Basically, we still have some documentations to write. That's my part. I'm still not finished about that because, to be honest, um, all my time was dedicated to reading and testing all the amazing pull requests that we received from all of you guys. So again, thanks a lot. Um, that's really amazing. The
Yeah.
quality of the demo has dramatically increased thanks to you guys. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, the downside of that is that since we had a lot of work reviewing all that, is that I'm late writing documentation. Sorry.
Yeah, and there are also quite a few bugs more now that block the release of Fallout 0, but that's actually a good thing because we want to have a quality release and not something that already reeks of bugs. So it's actually a good thing.
Just to ensure you to tool, if there's documentation I can write for you, Julian, that doesn't need in-depth Scoria code, let me know. I can do that while you work on bugs. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no problem. There's the other Scoria docs repository where you can find all the handwritten documentation. Just to make a small precision, I already explained that yesterday or maybe today on the Discord channel. You have two kind of documentations. You have the automatically generated documentation. Basically, that's all you can find in the API section of the documentation. All of this is automatically generated from Scoria code using the function um, comments, the commands above all the functions in Scoria. So if you want to change the documentation of these parts that are automatically generated, then you will have to make pull requests in the Scoria demo project.
Yeah, for
Uh,
example,
er-
let me just quickly open this here. This is the Scoria GD file, and everything you can see in comments here are translated into Scoria Docs API, Scoria MD. So all you can see here is done automatically using the wonderful GD scripts doc makers from GD Quest, and it just translates the comments to there.
and about the other sections, which I call handwritten from the documentation. So these are all located in the Scoria docs.
Yeah,
In the other folders. So you can see here, for example, advanced contributing design contains mostly images, if I'm not wrong.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, well, not only, but some. You also have general. Actually, this exactly corresponds to the sections that you can see in the documentation website. Uh, the whole website is generated from this folder structure. So you're able to write any new page or add any section into this documentation. This is not Markdown though. It's using Sphinx, and the syntax is the restructured text.
Yeah.
Just explaining that choice. I made that choice in at the beginning because I wanted to have some similarities with the way the official Godot documentation is written. They are using basically the same thing as we use, so we are using the same thing as they are using. It was mostly convenient because if we had any issue using that tool, then we are sure to find some support there, which is very convenient. And besides, it's quite quite easy to write. It's as easy as Markdown, so that was a choice. There's no best choice to me, so we just made one. If you want to add any section in these pages, you're free to go. You just have to find the right page and start writing and make a pull request with your changes, which we'll review. And besides, we have 4 pull requests there, which we will have to look at. I think there's one of my documentation writing here. Dennis, maybe you want to have a look at if you have some time. That was what was that? That was about the load and save features.
I'll take a look. I'd like to point out two things more about the documentation repository. There's this ESC reference template file, which is used to generate the ESC command reference. And there's a small Python script that extracts information about the released ESC commands from the API documentation and then packs it all together in a big list into this ESC reference and generates that. So this is code that is run by GitHub Actions and creates another page. So um, usually you just have to change the API, the ESC commands in the demo game, and that will reflect in the ESC reference as well. And the other thing is that we have a check script, a check workflow based on what's called doc8, which is a small restructured text doc checker. So if you want to make sure that your docs are correct, you should run doc8 locally before you create the pull request. The pull request will check it as well, but you can see that previously on your local machine as well.
And the last precision about your question, if there are any particular section that I had planned to write, I'm using the how is it called? The Kanban table on the on GitHub that shows the documentation tasks that are still left for 4.0. They are the documentation tasks here in brown, and you can see those in progress. Maybe there are some to do as well. I still have to continue to progress on the ones who that are in the in progress column. Most of them are not started yet, but I'll start over again, not over, but starting getting back to it. But there are other documentations to add in here, indeed. But they are all in the to-do list. Yeah, so feel free if you have some information and want to add some more in here.
Awesome.
And apparently you do. Expect some documentation PR shortly. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks. Yeah, just many thanks.
Yeah,
It's
much
it's
appreciated.
really great. Most appreciated.
Okay, on that note, I think we can close it for now. I'm getting tired.
Yeah. The time is Time is running out. We're getting close to midnight, and I'm getting tired as well.
At least in this part of the world. I don't know, Duncan. What time is it on your side?
Well, we just hit daylight savings. I know you guys still have another couple of weeks, so right now it's I don't know 6:30 in the evening.
It's 6:30. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and you guys hit daylight savings. I think at the end of this month. I think.
I'm always
Uh,
confused about that. I think yes, 21st.
yeah, I think we're close to it. I don't remember what day this happens, but yeah, daylight saving time will happen. I think it's in 1 week or two.
I only
Okay.
remember if the news coverage is up.
Yeah, I never remember to.
This night, you should change your clocks. Oh, it's this night. Okay. Thanks a lot for being here, and thanks to you guys for having this meeting
27th of
together.
March.
Ah,
27th of March.
that's
There you
one.
go.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.